The architecture of invisible power. Sounds pretty dramatic, right? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the forces that are secretly, and I mean secretly, guiding our everyday lives. We're going to explore this hidden architecture that's all around us, usually without us even noticing. Okay, so just think about your morning. It probably feels like your routine, right? But it kicks off the same way for millions, even billions of us. The alarm goes off and you wake up. And what's the first thing you do? Almost without thinking, you grab your phone. And just like that, with one tap, you're plugged into this huge global network, checking messages, seeing what's up around the world. Then you're out the door, moving through a city that just works. The trains are running, traffic is flowing, and somehow you get where you need to be. And all day long, what are you doing? You're scrolling through apps, getting instant news, social updates, basically anything you want on demand. You can literally watch history unfold in real time, right there in the palm of your hand. It all just feels so smooth, so easy, almost like it's magic. But you know it's not magic, right? Of course it's not. Behind every single one of those simple little actions, from that alarm to the newsfeed, there's this massive, invisible system, a hidden web of technology and infrastructure that's shaping basically everything you do. So that begs the question, a really important one. What's actually running the show here? What are these hidden forces? Well, let's start peeling back some of those layers. First up, we're going to start with the most physical layer, the one that's literally right under our feet. I'm talking about the huge invisible infrastructure that powers our entire world. Yeah, people call this the shadow system. It's this massive, unseen web of stuff, power lines, data cables, all the shipping routes, that is the absolute bedrock of modern life. And the crazy part is, its power comes from the fact that we don't see it. And believe me, this system directly affects you. It decides how fast your Wi-Fi is, whether that package you ordered shows up on time, how smoothly your city operates, and honestly, even how safe you feel. When just one tiny piece of this hidden network goes down, an entire country can feel it. And just to give you an idea of the scale we're talking about, look at this number, 95%. Any guesses what that could be? Get this, 95% of all global internet traffic doesn't happen through the air. Nope, it travels through actual, physical fiber optic cables running along the bottom of the ocean. Just let that sink in for a second. The cloud is actually at the bottom of the sea. The entire backbone of our digital lives is just sitting there, quietly on the ocean floor. Okay, so that's the physical stuff. But if we go a layer deeper, we find something a little more abstract. I'm talking about the networks that don't just move data, they shape the ideas themselves. These are the shadow networks of influence. So you ever wonder how a new idea or a big policy change actually happens? Well, it often follows a path kind of like this. It might start in a university research lab. Then it gets chewed on and packaged up by a think tank. Then it spreads through these big tech and science groups. And finally, it lands on the desk of someone who makes the decisions. It's a quiet process, but the influence is absolutely huge. And this whole thing creates a huge gap between what we see and what's actually going on behind the scenes. We see the finished product, right? The news headline, the shiny new phone, the big medical breakthrough, but we almost never see the invisible machinery that made it happen. The think tanks, the R&D groups, the massive databases working in the background. And make no mistake, these networks aren't just on the sidelines. The sources we're looking at actually call them the beating heart of modern civilization. That's how important they are. They're the ones shaping how we deal with everything, from global health crises to climate change. Okay, this brings us to our last layer. And honestly, this one might be the most mind-bending of all, the rise of automation. We're talking about a whole new age of autonomous power. And look, this isn't some sci-fi movie stuff. It's happening right now, quietly running in the background. You've got self-driving trucks hauling goods across the country, drone networks keeping an eye on our infrastructure, smart sensors all over our cities, and a lot of the time there's no human even in the loop. The thing you've got to grasp here is the sheer speed and scale of it. We're talking about machines making thousands of tiny little decisions every single second. That's a speed no human being could ever hope to match. And we're not talking about small stuff here. These autonomous systems are taking control of really critical parts of our society. They're directing traffic in our biggest cities, managing the energy grid, helping coordinate emergency services, and even running global supply chains. So let's just pull all this together for a second. You've got the cables at the bottom of the ocean, you've got the think tanks shaping what we believe, and you've got algorithms running our cities. It all points to one thing, doesn't it? We are living in a world that is completely powered by systems we can't even see. And that leads us to a really simple but kind of profound idea. The real engines of our world, they operate in the dark. The most powerful systems are the ones you never, ever see. So I'll leave you with this one last thought. Now that you kind of know what to look for, what else is out there? What other invisible systems, what other architectures of power are hiding in plain sight right